Hello and welcome to an Inside Owl Athletics interview. I'm Jill Diamond. Today we're joined by Molly Edmark, the president of the Keene State Student Athlete Athletic Advisory Committee. On February 5th, Keene State welcomed Mark and Kim Hilinski, the founders of Hilinskis Hope, for a presentation on student athlete mental health. Molly, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
For those not familiar, could you please tell us about Hilinskis Hope and how it was founded?
Hilinskis Hope is a mental health organization that was founded by Mark and Kim Hilinski, who were parents of Tyler Hilinski, who died by suicide 5 years ago. They really found it to kind of keep Tyler's memory alive. They believe that people die twice, once when they take their last breath and then once when someone says their name for the last time. And so by having Hilinskis Hope kind of up and running and throughout different universities across the United States, that's really how they're keeping Tyler's memory alive.
Why was Hilinskis Hope chosen? What was their message resonated with you?
The SAAC advisor, Kara Hilinski, and I really decided to take the steps to further our mental health resources on campus really about a year ago. And we scoured resources and we looked at different organizations. And we just thought that the message that Hilinskis Hope offered was really nicely aligned with what we wanted to bring to Keene. So, yeah.
What was your biggest takeaway from the presentation?
I think not just me, but I think everyone's biggest takeaway from the presentation was probably that you don't have to struggle, you don't have to have a crisis or a loss in order to need help. And I think we were given the tools on Sunday to ask for help and know exactly where to go.
Why is the subject of mental health so important for student athletes?
I think when people look at student athletes, they feel like they kind of have the life. They get to come to school, they get to play the sport that they love. And I think that just remembering that we're people too is probably why it's so important. We have a lot of additional stress that we choose and that we love to thrive in. But I think sometimes we have a hard time admitting that it can be a lot. So talking about mental health, making it kind of known that it's okay to struggle with it is important to athletes.
Yeah. What other initiatives is SAAC taking to support athletes in the area?
That's a good question. I think when we went to the LEC SAAC meeting on 2 weeks ago now, we talked a lot, and people really aren't taking really big initiatives. I think people are starting really small, which is good. I think Keene kind of has a head start in terms of big initiatives, especially with Hilinskis Hope. But around campus, you'll also see mental health games. We did one for basketball in the winter. We kind of did a test run for one in the fall for field hockey. And those are all sponsored by Morgan's Message, an organization really similar to Hilinskis Hope, that we're kind of using to catapult getting to talk about mental health within athletics.
Thank you for joining us. For more on Hilinskis Hope, please visit www.hilinskihope.org.